I'm going to read
How do you say it?
the association bylaws real quick, and where I propose changes, I'll say this is, I'll read what it is today, and I'll read you my proposed change that the board discussed, and then at the end of the changes, then we'll have a vote. Do you want to agree with that, or do you think there's a discussion? All right, so the mission statement of the association. This association seeks to provide the highest quality support and information in reconnecting shipmates' families, and all dependents of the USS Paul F. Foster DD 964, or the self-defense test ship Paul Foster. To provide camaraderie among those who served on board, encourage membership through a website and other means, and maintain a database of shipmates, whether or not they are members. The association shall schedule activities such as, but not limited to, reunions, like we're here today for. It also seeks to preserve memories, historic value, influence, destiny of the warship that is the last of the Esperance class destroyers. This is the part about saving the ship so we can keep it afloat and have something to remember. We believe through our association's united voice and strength that we can create a grassroots initiative to preserve the ship as a floating machine after the Navy decides its services as a test ship are no longer required. So there's no changes to the first paragraph. Second, membership. Any former crew member of the ship, which includes members of the embarked air detachment, is eligible for shipmate membership. Widows and widowers of former crew members shall be offered honorary membership in the association. Those who served during their status as self-defense test ships shall be offered honorary membership. Spouses of any contributing eligible crew member shall be an honorary member with all association rights and privileges. An individual who did not serve in USS Paul Foster, the self-defense test ship, and who supports the association's mission statement, is eligible for association membership. So we pretty much open the door to everybody that says, I like that idea, in an effort to grow this. The suggested annual contribution is $25 for each former crew member or associate member, or $35 per married couple if both spouses are former crew members. An annual contribution drive for membership, conducted by the office holders or their assigned committee, shall begin on or about January 1st each year. Recommended contribution amounts for membership in the association shall be set at membership meetings during the reunions, where we're at today. So it's not going to make any suggestions or changes. Lifetime membership will be granted to any member making a one-time contribution equal to or greater than 20 times the current suggested annual contribution for individuals and married couples. So paragraph 2, there's no changes. Paragraph 3, nomination of officers, which we'll get to later in this meeting. Any contributing shipmate or associate member is eligible for office in the association. Nominations of officers will be accepted from the floor during the biennial general membership meeting, what we're having today. Only shipmates can hold the offices of president and vice president. Contributing shipmates, spouses, and associate members may hold the positions of secretary, treasurer, and director, or any appointed position. Now there'll be a change in that paragraph based upon paragraph 4. And 8. So 4 says, officers shall be elected at reunions to serve a term of 2 years. The president shall have the option of a second 2-year term by nomination and election. There are no term limits for other officers. Officers to be elected shall follow Robert's Rules of Order, and election shall be by a simple majority of those members present and voting. Should the president be unable to fill his or her term, the vice president shall serve out the term. An effort should be made to elect directors of membership from early years, mid-years, and late years, areas of the Paul Foster. In the event of vacancy in the office of vice president during the term, the remaining board members shall elect a simple majority from among the directors who served aboard Foster, a vice president to serve until the next association reunion. The vote of the prospective replacement shall not count towards the majority vote. So we went through that process twice in the past 2 years to fill vacant board positions. Not something we ordinarily like to do or want. I'm going to skip through the rest of that. An officer may be removed from office by 2/3 vote of the board. Okay, we need both board members present to do any of this. In this case, 2/3 of you say you don't want me to be president. What do you could pass that, and I won't say any more. Number 5, officers' duties. The president shall act as chief operating officer of the association. The president shall call an annual meeting of elected and appointed officers at a reunion if scheduled for the purpose of reviewing association business and financial records. If a reunion is not scheduled during the year, the meeting may be conducted by telephone or internet-enabled conferencing. The meeting of the membership shall be called by the president at each reunion with an agenda published 30 days in advance, and treasurer's report shall be made at all membership meetings. Okay, you heard the treasurer report, the membership report, and he had an agenda. I know a lot of you didn't get it 30 days in advance because of the fiasco we had putting this whole thing together. But we're all here and we know what's happening. Treasurer will maintain financial transaction records. Secretary will maintain a record of minutes of all meetings and officers present. All elected officers and or appointed committee chairpersons or committee members shall serve without compensation. All reimbursements for expenses incurred must have received prior approval in the form of email, fax, electronic means. All checks drawn on the account shall be signed by the treasurer and with the written concurrence of the president or vice president. Appointed positions, members serving in appointed positions serve at the pleasure of the president. Such positions may include, or not limited to, reunion committee chair, ships acquisition coordinator, that's a vacancy I need to fill. Membership committee chair, historian, database manager, webmaster, chaplain, newsletter editor, ship store manager. So we'll discuss some of those things a little bit later. Reunions, here's where the big change comes in. The current law says reunions shall be held approximately every 2 years. When possible, the reunion will coincide with the foster's availability. Take that back. Reunions will be held approximately every 2 years. That's the current bylaw. I want to propose that we strike that and say reunions shall be held approximately every 3 years. 2 years is, it's nice, but as soon as we leave this one, if we have to have another one in 2 years, we're starting to plan for that one. And we don't have time to go work on the ships, save the ship committee, building membership, because there's so few of us working on this stuff, all our efforts directed towards the reunion. A lot of people can't afford to go to reunions every 2 years. They get, they just don't have the time, the money. The advantage, we spread it out, we give ourselves more time, we give people more time to plan. So my proposal is reunions shall be held approximately every 3 years. And then I added, when possible, the reunion scheduling will coincide with the foster's availability. Because we always like to try to have the reunion on board the ship when it's available. So currently, the last word from the ship was they're not going in dry dock in 2018, when we were hoping to have our next reunion be able to visit the ship. From what I understand right now, they will be operating and we won't be able to get to the ship in 2018. So we will have to figure out, if we did this every 2 years, somewhere else to hold a reunion.
If it was in dry dock, we wouldn't be able to get access to it anyway.
Well, they said we could. We might have been
Dry
able
docks
to.
are usually in the northwest.
You have to get access into the CIA.
It just depends where we can still go there. It's like we had the one in Everett when they, it's-
Yeah, when they decommission.
Except in dry dock and PSNS is a secured environment. You have to get badged to be able to get in.
Oh, believe me, so is Nemesis at Port Hueneme.
Yeah, you go through the Port Hueneme.
Yeah, it's the same.
I just meant not in dry dock, but actually floating.
Yeah, in the yards is the quote. They're not going in the yards whether it's dry dock, whatever. They're going to be operating. The odds are, as of right now, we won't be able to see that ship until possibly early next year, which means there's no way I can see trying to have a reunion 6 months from now to get on the
It's
ship.
a lot of work.
I just find this interesting because we just had a CTM reunion, and one of their proposals was to move their reunion schedule from 2 years to 3 years. So
It's not, I think 4 years would be too far because then people
Yeah.
lose interest in it, blah, blah. 3 years or even let's say it's approximate, so it could be 2, could be 3.5. Again, working around the ship's availability and or that 3-year mark. But that's the change to the reunions that I'm proposing and the board. And then to reflect that, if we go back up to number 3, obviously the nomination of officers, the line would now read, nomination of officers will only be accepted from the floor during the triennial, or every 3-year general membership meeting. And then in regards to the officers' terms, the officers elected at reunion shall serve a term of 3 years, not 2 years. Because we wouldn't want to have somebody, their term has expired, who's going to appoint them? Well, I'll appoint you.
I got another question, the foster, the yards and stuff. What would be seeing it? Would it be like, just walk like the tour we did today?
Kind of, you get to go
Sort of
on board. We have, typically in the past, we've had lunch on board the ship back
Yeah.
on
Barbecue.
stage. Photographs, you get to go to your old workspaces and see how it's changed, see how the
Yeah.
ship has changed.
Flag speech.
Yeah, it's just
Pretty, yeah, it's a
Navy
pretty big
related.
deal.
There are, I will tell you right now, there's a lot of members, not paying, but members of the association that will only go to these reunions when they're aboard the ship. If it's not aboard the ship, they're not interested. When we hold it aboard the ship, we get 2 to 3 to 4 times the turnout without question. When we say it's going to be in Vegas, it's going to be more, got to be Navy related, got to be Foster, or I'm not going. So it does have its advantages, and it's nice to be able to go back to the ship, and that's where the reality sets in. Oh my God, look what they've done to it. If we do get this ship, it's going to take a lot to put it back to Navy, military use. So those are the changes.
It's just a lot of travel to see something for one day. That's all.
Well, the reunion is actually 4 days. There's
The reunion,
events and other
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But the icing on the cake is the ride down and going on Port Hueneme and everybody boarding, and then you have quite a few officers. You get some dignitaries up, they give some nice speeches, and then we have tours. We had tour guides one year. We had a big barbecue one year. Cooker sessions.
They have Secretary Museum on Sunday morning, and then they had a dinner, golf
If,
tournament, so there was enough.
If you would like to volunteer to be our reunion coordinator for the next reunion, you can set that up.
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to then ask for approval of the modified bylaws. Does someone
A second.
want to?
I think coming from the president, this requires it.
We need to vote on it. We need to have a
Oh,
vote.
okay.
Does the membership accept the changes to the bylaws?
Well, I'm not even.
Yeah, you're not even a voting member.
I know, I'm not a voting
You're just an
member, so-
associate member. All those in favor of changing the bylaws signify by raising your hand, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's by unanimous vote. The bylaws are changed.
That's if my vote counts.
My husband, I didn't make.
Yours kind of counts because you kind of promised me you'd pay.
I haven't bought the ring yet.